dos grandes obstáculos, nascem a força e a vontade de os superar. Uma força maior que a soma das partes, que desafia a criatividade, a disponibilidade e a solidariedade. Os portugueses, quando chamados a lutar por si e pelos seus, nunca desapontaram. E perante um novo inimigo comum, as soluções urgem e os esforços unem-se. É assim que nasce o movimento Tech for Covid-19. Conscientes de que os profissionais de saúde se encontram na linha da frente, pretendemos, através das mais variadas competências envolvidas neste movimento, apoiar e agilizar o combate a esta pandemia. Em menos de 48 horas, uma conversa informal entre fundadores de startups tecnológicas portuguesas transformou-se numa equipa de mais de 600 pessoas, de 120 empresas diferentes das mais variadas áreas de atividade, com um objetivo comum: unir o talento português no desenvolvimento de soluções tecnológicas que ajudem a população a ultrapassar o desafio do Covid-19. Não somos mais B2B ou B2C. Somos H to H. Human to human.
Hello everyone, this is Fernando. I work at Wagon. So we're recording this video because the original one, the audio was really bad, and we're sorry for that. So let's get started. So just a brief overview about what's Wagon. So we are the top ranked bootcamp in the whole world, according to Switch Up and Course Report. We have graduated over than 7,000 people, over than 40 cities. We have built over than 1,500 apps, and we have launched around 300. Our alumni has launched over than 300 startups. At the moment, I guess they have raised something around $100 million, which is a great number. A lot of tech companies actually trust on us, so we have alumni working at Amazon, Apple, Google, Uber, and a lot more. So just to start the workshop, I like to start this workshop asking, so what companies have in common? Usually people at the in-person workshop says they are digital, they don't have anything, so they like all the resource comes from the partners, there are apps and so on. Let's think about it. So I'm gonna ask a really simple question. Here at Wagon, we usually order pizzas and beers. So 5 to 10 years ago, how would you order pizzas? So you have to have the drawer full of flyers and papers, or maybe the magnets on the fridge. So if you want to eat something really different, like Thai food at 3 a.m., if you didn't have the flyer, it would be really hard for you to do it. So there is a methodology called micro moments. It was created by Google a really long time ago. It's actually not really new. It's 3-4 years old. And it's based on 3 pillars: context, intent, and immediacy. So let's get iFood as an example. iFood is a company like Uber Eats or Glovo in Brazil. So let's say that I want to order something. What's the context? Like, I'm usually probably at home and I had nothing to eat. And my intention is actually, I want to eat something, but I don't want to cook it. I want to eat something fast. So my immediacy, it's actually now. So probably I just go to iFood, I can browse on the content, I can find the food that I want, and I probably will get delivered in 20 minutes. But iFood also has a bot, so we can order something on Facebook. So you can go and ask for pizza, you can see the restaurants, and they also have a button where we can preset an order. So let's say like Wagon São Paulo, we usually order pizzas on Thursdays. So I could easily preset, order this button, preset like the purchase, saying like all the times that I push this button, I want this amount of pizzas to come to this address and this is the payment method. So I don't need actually to order something. And as soon as new technologies arrive, like Alexa or Google Voice or Facebook Spaces or HoloLens, it will adapt to the new technologies. So the thing is, always entrepreneurs say, I develop an app, a website, or a platform, but actually you don't create an app, a website, or a platform. You create a solution for a problem. And with solving people's problem, it doesn't matter which platform. So what's the startup definition? I really like this definition given by Dave McClary that say that startup is really confused about what's the product, what's the customers, or how to make money, because as technology evolves, they keep changing the business models, the products, and the customers. But it's everything about how to get clients. The own startup word is start, you just started, and up, you grow, you manage to grow really, really fast. A startup business model has to be repeatable, scalable, and fast. So just to put in another words, let's get Uber for instance. So let's say that Uber want to expand to a new city. So let's say they're in Lisbon and they want to go to London. They're going to replicate exactly the same business model from here to there. So they have an app, people can subscribe to the app, cabs can subscribe to the app, and we're going to get customers. So it's scalable because on the first week, they can go from 0 to 100 customers, 200,000 customers, and on the following week, 1 million customers. So it's also fast. So week by week, they manage to get a lot of customers. So it's repeatable, scalable, and fast. In order to put your startup, in order to create your startup, there is a 3-step journey that all the startups have to go through. So the first step is the formation. So it's where we think about the mission, the vision, the strategy. It's how we start to create the team. You start to think about your persona, find a business opportunity. And then we go through validation. So once you found a problem that's worth solving, you're going to validate this problem to see if people really, really have this problem. How do they have this problem? You're going to be creating an MVP that we're going to say a little bit further what's that. So you're going to be creating solutions for that problem and validating if people really, really like your solution. And then once you find a problem and you find a solution for the problem, you found the product market fit, that's how you're going to grow. What's very interesting that it's at the very beginning, that's why there was -2, -1, 0, until validation is the death valley. So that's where, according to Harvard, 70% of the startups fail. We couldn't manage to find the right team, we couldn't find the good business opportunity, we couldn't find actually a problem that was worth solving it. So when you go to validation, when we found a problem and we're going to be building a solution for that problem, you're going to be iterating many times until you find the right solution for the right problem. So when you get your customers actually to use your product, start to recommend for people, we say that we found the product market fit and there's no questions. When you start to have like a lot of organic clients coming because the word of it is spread, then you're going to start thinking about scaling. So I'm going to go through each single step of it. So about formation, so that's me, and let's say that I have an idea, right? I'm going to conquer the world and this is the best idea. So what we really want to do is, I'm going to show you the video so you're going to understand it better. So what we really want to do is actually fail fast. So when I first started entrepreneur, my first startup, I took 9 months to fail fast. So I started getting a lot of partners, a lot of hostels. It was actually in the tourism industry. a lot of partners, a lot of hostels. I spoke to all the hostels in São Paulo, which were almost than 80. I spoke to a lot of operators in tourism, which were like 10, like Aquarium of the City, Wet n Wild, and so on. And when I first released the first version, which took me 9 months, on month 0, I had 0 sales. On the first month, I had 0 sales. And what I couldn't understand, it was like people that work at hostels, usually they exchange work for accommodation, and the turnover is really, really high. So if I had just get one hostel and one partner and try to put the business up, I would probably had find out that after 1-2 weeks. So I probably wouldn't had spent like 9 months to fail. And as I spent 9 months on this initiative, I couldn't actually keep trying to make it work because I spent 9 months. So the whole idea is actually trying to find the no and fail fast. So when you're defining the problem, you have to think why. Why is this a problem? Who suffers this problem? So what are the people that are actually facing this problem? How do they suffer it? So how do they solve the problem nowadays? And then is it something worth to solve? Is it a problem that they're going to be solving for 1,000 people or 1 billion people? So then we're going to think, okay, I may find a marketing opportunity here. And then there are a few frameworks that you can use it, called the empathy map. It's kind of being the personal stalker of your personas or of your customers. So you're going to start thinking, who is the persona? What do they do? What do they think? What do they see? So you're going to be really, really thinking about who is your customer. And then there is another framework that's called Link Canvas. So this is really cool because in one spreadsheet, you can see the whole business model. So you can think about channels, unique value, problem, solution, customer segment, and so on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you can just Google it and find the information. And then once you thought about your persona, you build like, you understood how do they solve problems, what can be the competitors, how you could differentiate from them, you go for validation. So validation is pretty much getting to know your customers. So you need to speak to a lot of users, not a lot, but like something around 50 users, to try to understand really in deep what do they do, how do they think, and what's the problem. So there is a theory that's called the 5 whys. So like let's say that you want to build e-commerce for beauty. So the first question that you should be making actually is like, hello, do you buy beauty products? And the person gonna say like yes, and you're gonna be like, oh, how do they buy it? Why do you buy it? And they're gonna give you like a little bit more information. So understanding the whys and the hows of people, you can get to the deep problem. You never ask straight away like, hello, would you buy online products? Because the answer that the person is gonna give you, it's not really the true problem. So using the 5 whys, you can get to the main point of the problem. So you can start thinking about what's actually the problem. You should be doing that until you find the pattern. So you should speak to enough people until you start getting the same replies. And then when you get the same replies, you probably found a problem that's worth to solve it, that may be really different from the one that you first thought about it. And then you're gonna be, okay, like to develop a solution for them, it may be really hard. So I'm just gonna give you a few examples how few tech companies started. So Zappos was the first really big e-commerce for shoes. The way that it started, the founder wasn't really sure about, like he was around 100% sure that people would buy shoes online, but what he wasn't sure if it was people would return the shoes, like they wouldn't like it or something like that, as it wasn't popular at the time. So what he done, he actually went to a lot of shoe shops and he started taking pictures of the shoes. And he uploaded on a blog and he started promoting to friends, and friends actually liked it and started buying the shoes. So he went to the shop, he bought the shoes for just people, and he hasn't got any return shoes. So people were buying it, they were actually keeping the shoes. So that's how Zappos actually started. They started growing the business and so on. Airbnb, this is more or less how it started. So there was a big conference somewhere in the States, and the city used to get full booked. And this guy used to have a lot of friends asking him if they could crash in his place. So he was like, okay, this can be a business. So he created an ad, Craigslist, which is kind of OLX. And Airbnb stands for air, beds, and breakfast. So at the very beginning, there wasn't houses and rooms and something like that. It was just air, beds, and breakfasts. And in a few hours, this guy got a lot of requests of people that want to stay at his place, and he started making a business out of it. And then that's how Airbnb started. Easy Taxi was more or less, really, Easy Taxi is the first Brazilian company, it's the first company actually that you could order cabs through apps. They were a Brazilian company, and the way that it started was at Startup Weekend, and this guy was helping executive assistants to order cabs for the executives. So the secretaries used to fill like a landing page or actually just email him, and it looked that everything was automated, but it was actually him calling all the cab companies like around the office to get a cab for 5 minutes where the executives need to go. And you go like, okay, but let's say that I'm building something that really needs tech. So Dropbox, when they first asked for investment, they couldn't get it. And the investors wanted to see some traction. So they created a post on Reddit, and they didn't manage to get a lot of people interested. So they created a video that as the platform was actually existing, and he was using it and said it was in the beta version. So people that want to test it, they could test it. As soon as he made the video, in one night, he got 70,000 people that want to use the service. So that's how he validated actually that people like to use the service, and with having 75,000 people that want to use the service, for him it was really easy to get the investment. So these things that I just told you, they are called MVP, minimum viable product. That's actually how you can start your business idea without having any technology, but providing the key value for your customers. So let's say that we want to create something like a car, right? Like, let's say the cars didn't exist yet, and we want to create something like a car. So what's actually the problem that car solves? It's actually going from A to B faster than walking, let's say. So if you create a wheel and then two wheels and then the body of the car and then the car, you cannot go anywhere faster, right, with the one wheel. You probably will take so long to build the car, and you have so many mistakes in the way. But if you create skates, you can get few customers, but you're going to realize that customers are not 100% happy because they fell down, because they don't have the stability to use it. So you can create a shortnet where you can have a holder so customers cannot fall down anymore, so they will be a little bit more happier. But then you realize that it's too slow. So you create a bike, and then like customers can go a little bit faster, and then we realize that actually going fast is a feature. So you create a motorbike. And then afterwards you say like, okay, but a motorbike can only fit two people, so you create a car. So that's how you keep improving, delivering value, and learning from your customers, and then updating your features to start having customers and understand what's the next step that you should create or improve on your product in order to have crazy satisfaction. So when you get your customers like this really, really happy, and you start getting people recommend your product and organically coming to you, you found what you call the product market fit. But when you get your customers actually really, really sad and mad on you, it's because you haven't found the right solution for the right problem. So you need to iterate again and then try to find something that they would love it. So when you finally found the product market fit and there's no questions asked, like you just have a lot of people coming to you trying to find your product, then you think about growing. And it's all about how to find clients. So let's say if you want to ask for investment and you're going to ask for $150,000 or euros, how would you convince the investor to give you this money? So what you need to show them that it's actually how to manage your channels. So this is a marketing funnel. And at the funnel, you're going to start thinking about, okay, let's get this webinar as an example. For today's webinar, 200 people inscribed for the webinar, and a few show up on the stream. And afterwards, I know that some people are going to call us and say like, hey, Fernando, I really liked what you said. Can you tell me a little bit more about Wagon? So this is one of our customer acquisition channels. We also do like Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, Google Ads, display, blog posts, and so on. And for each of the mediums, we know how many people access it and how many people actually get in touch with us. So knowing all these metrics, I can get you any investors and say, look, if you give me 150,000 euros, I'm going to invest actually in promoting this post because I'm going to get that many views. And then from that many views, I know that many people are going to get in touch with me and that many people are going to become a client. So you start actually managing your channels, and you're going to start measuring which channel gives you more return or less return. So you don't need to pay for your channels. So Airbnb, actually, when they started, like all the posts that were created at Airbnb, they used to repost on Craigslist, and that's actually how they managed to get traction. The main acquisition channel was on Craigslist, so all the posts will reply on Craigslist, and this will bring a lot of traffic for Airbnb. For Le Wagon, what really works is actually giving these workshops. People start to think about what do they want to do and think about technology, and then knowing that they can develop a few skills at the beginning, they go like, okay, I want to dip in this world, that's what we need to do. So meetups really works for Le Wagon. And the thing that we should know is it's better to have 100 people that love your product than 100,000 that just like you. So it's better to create something that at the very beginning, it's better to have like a very strong customer database from like really close people, because you can understand like the main points of your products, the weakness, and they're going to give you true feedback. And these people that love you are going to recommend you for everyone. But if you have 100,000 people that just like you, they can stop using your products and they won't go as crazy as you think that will go. And then you won't have loyalty or something like that. So you're going to learn a lot with the first 100 people, and make sure that you grow your base organically. Like these people get small people that get small people, and so on. To understand your channels, you can use two tools, SimilarWeb and SEMrush. So let's say that you have a benchmark or a competitor that gets a lot of traffic. You can analyze how this traffic is built on. So which content works the most, which pages they get the most traffic, if it comes from social media, from email marketing, from display marketing, and so on. So SimilarWeb and SEMrush are really, really good tools for that. So just wrapping up everything that I said, so there are 3 steps that all startups follows in order to be well succeed. So the first step is the formation, where you're going to start thinking about business opportunities. Who is the persona, what do they do, what's the product for, and for who, why do they face this problem, how do they face this problem, if it's like an opportunity that's worth to solve it. And then we're going to go for validation. You're going to speak to a lot of your customers until you find a pattern. So you're going to build, as soon as you found a problem that's worth solving, you're going to build a minimum viable product, which is how you're going to solve the problem, is the solution for it. We're going to be validating so once you validate the problem, you're going to be validating the solution until you find something, a kind of product that people love it. You need to make sure that's the minimum viable product. So you're not going to spend a lot of money developing it, because you're testing to see what people like, don't like, and you're testing with your customers. When you find finally that your customers are happy and start to recommend you to other people, you probably found the product market fit. So you're going to start scaling your business. So that's how we should start working on acquisition channels and on your metrics. At the very beginning is the dev valley. So until you get to validation, a lot of startups fail. 70% of the startups actually fail on that phase because they couldn't manage to find a problem, they couldn't manage to build a team, most different reasons. And then when you validate, actually your business is going to go through a lot of changes. So you're going to be adapting your model a lot of times. So you're going to be adapting your value proposition, you're going to be adapting the solution, and so on, until you find the product market fit. So when you find the product market fit, you're going to be scaling your business. So I hope you have enjoyed this workshop. Thanks very much. If you want to have slides, or if you have any questions, just please email me. Thank you very much. Bye.